Hello guys and welcome to Quipoin. In this video, we are going to start the new series that is Cascading Style Sheet or CSS. In this video, we are going to discuss the basics of CSS. In that, we are going to cover what is CSS, why we use CSS, how to connect CSS to our HTML, and example of CSS in HTML. So without further delay, hit that like button, subscribe to Quipoin, and let's get started. This video is basically the introduction or overview of the CSS. We are not going to go in depth about the CSS or how to write a CSS. I'm just going to introduce CSS to you. In the upcoming videos, we are going to discuss the syntax of CSS, the different types of CSS. So basically, we are going to start from the beginning level and we are going to climb up to the advanced level of the CSS. So continuing on this video, what is CSS? As I earlier mentioned that CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. What does this mean? So you can just imagine that HTML is basic structure or skeleton of the web page. And when you want to add or beautify your web page, you add CSS to it. So CSS helps in beautification of your web page. Now you must be thinking, okay, why we need CSS? It's just a beautification thing. No, CSS makes your website responsive. It makes your website interactive. It increases the user experience. And the one of the most important aspect of the CSS is it helps in SEO or search engine optimization. So CSS is really important for a website. Now, let's just see an example of CSS. You will better understand with an example. So I'll just open my VS Code here and I'll just create, let's say, a basic HTML head and a body. Now, let's say we are creating our portfolio. Okay, let's say we are creating a basic website with a heading HM and we'll just write welcome to Quipoin. Okay, and I'll add a paragraph and I'll write let's say introduction to CSS by Quipoin. Now this is a very basic HTML page. I'll just run my live server and you'll see a heading and a basic paragraph. Now this is looking a very bland. Okay, so how to add or make it more interactive? As I told you, CSS makes our website interactive. It increases the user experience, which is the most important thing for any website. The user experience, the interactivity of the website is most of important thing, and the SEO is obviously one of the most important thing. So that is automatically increased when you add CSS to your site. Now you may have noticed in many websites or while doing the previous HTML videos, you may have noticed that we use a attribute called style. And if you just give it background color and all, so it will just become like this. So now what is this style? Is this a CSS? Yes, this is a CSS. We are adding background color to the text and the border to our h1 tag using the attribute style of h1 tag. So this is a CSS. This CSS is called inline CSS. We will be discussing the types of CSS in the upcoming videos, so you don't have to worry about whatever terms I use here. I'll explain each and everything. You will get to know each and everything till the advanced level in the upcoming videos. So this is a CSS. Now you can see like how good or it is looking better than black or just a plain black font or text. It is looking quite good. So this is how you add CSS to your HTML. Now, while discussing the HTML in the previous videos, you may have saw or you may have noticed that we discussed about a tag called style tag, which was basically which is basically used inside the head. Now, what is this style tag? This style tag is nothing but it is the CSS. The style tag is the CSS of the HTML. As here you can see, instead of using the style attribute of the tag, I am using style tag and I am mentioning whatever changes or whatever styling I want in my web page. So that's been showing here. So this is a CSS. This is the example of CSS. Why we use CSS. You can see how to beautify our page, how to make our web pages responsive. We use CSS. Now, I'll just give you the last example of the CSS and we will wrap this video up. So you may be thinking, okay, this is okay, okay, it is not creating such a difference as adding colors and background color. What will it do? Okay, what it may do. But I'll just show you something. Okay, I'll just remove this first of all. Let's remove this and let's open a Rive server for this HTML web page. So what is this HTML web page? You may recognize from the form tag that this is a basic form with username, password, and a login or submit button. So if I run it in live environment, so here you can see a basic HTML form that we have been created earlier in the videos has been created here too. We, if you haven't checked out our previous HTML form videos or previous HTML videos, you can go to the playlist and you can check it out. Now, this is a very basic form. This is not so interactive. Okay, this is just very basic. Okay, password, to field, h1 tag, and a button. Now, what if I say you can do or you can modify this form by adding just a line and it may look like this? What do you say about it? How interactive, how beautified it became. The form became in an instance. Why did this happen? Okay, so it was like this when we didn't add the CSS, but as soon as we added the CSS, it became so beautiful, it became so interactive. It's just like a professional website. So how did it happen? It happened because I had previously created a style sheet of this form and I just added or linked that style sheet to my current HTML. And you clearly see that I have written about the body, how it should be displayed, how it should be justified, where the body should be aligned. I have beautified or I have cascaded the form. Okay, what should be the border? How should the border look like? What should be the padding background? Okay, I have beautified the h1 label, input tag, submit button. Okay, how the hover should work. I have added that too. So this is how you use the CSS and make your website beautiful. Worry not if you don't understand anything from the CSS. You may not understand because this is the very first introductory video. I just wanted to show you the difference the CSS can create to your website. We will be discussing the CSS in more detail from the beginning level to the advanced level in the upcoming videos. So you please stay tuned with us and I'll be teaching you everything about the CSS. Now, I hope you may have understood about the CSS. You may have got an overview of the CSS, about how the CSS works, or why we need CSS, why we use CSS, and like how to connect CSS to the HTML. Okay, I just explained here, like we just use style tag or the attribute style, and this is how we connect CSS to our HTML pages. And you saw the example. Okay, if I just go live here, so you can see the example of the CSS. Okay, so this is without CSS and this is how it looks once we add the CSS to it. So this is how you create. So this is the difference between a normal web page and a web page that contains a CSS. I hope you guys understood about the CSS. I just gave you an overview of CSS. We are going to discuss CSS in further detail from the beginning level to the advanced level. And in the upcoming videos, we are going to discuss about the syntax of CSS, the basic models, types of CSS, and we are also going to learn how to write a CSS program. And if you still have any questions, if you have any queries related to the previous videos or current videos or MCQ or exercises or anything in general, you can just go to this form. You can just post your question here, and we will be answering all your queries. And till then, you can practice the exercises, the MCQs that we have uploaded, and subscribe to Quipoin for the next video for get a notification of the next video. And thank you. I'll be meeting in the next video with the syntax and basic CSS programming. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Thank you.